taking if it's $50,000 a year?
50,000?
60.
I'm sorry. I changed my answer.
Would you rather be a side chick to a star NBA basketball player or be married to a loyal average man?
I would much rather be married to a loyal average man than be a side chick to anybody ever in my entire life of living. It ain't happening.
Okay. What's your answer?
Yes, I would be rather married to a loyal average man. 9 to 5, I'm not being a fucking side chick.
Okay, so what makes you ladies so different? Because I feel like most people say that, but when it comes down to it, we talking about an average man who makes, let's say, $60,000 a year versus average man versus an NBA. Listen, versus an NBA basketball player that's a star, max contract.
I didn't say nothing about no 60.
What's the average income for an American man?
Ain't no way. 60's crazy.
Listen, $100,000 is not an average man. That's not average. I'm talking.
Still below average.
So who you taking if it's $50,000 a year?
50,000?
60.
I'm sorry. I changed my answer.
Every single woman is going to tell you that lie. What that girl first said, what those girls first said, oh no, I'd rather have a loyal average man and be married to him than be the side chick to a celebrity, to an NBA player, to an athlete. Every chick is going to tell you that. It's up to you if you believe them. That's what it's about. It's up to you if you believe them. This is a classic example of watch what they do, not what they say. Classic example. This doesn't mean she won't entertain any of these type of men, the broke guy or the high status guy. She's going to entertain both. She might even get in a relationship. As they stated, they prefer the relationship, the marriage with the average man making the average money. They might do that. You know what she's not going to tell you? She thinks she could do better. She thinks she could level up. And as long as she has that perception in her mind that an NBA player is trying to talk to her, that an athlete is trying to talk to her, she's either going to take that attention, which is bad for your relationship, or she's going to do what she does and not tell you. Hey, man, a lot of these girls are willing to be side chicks. They just won't tell your ass. A lot of them are side chicks. Even not the greatest looks, man. I'm telling you. They will entertain it. But the thing is, we get confused because they get all this attention. So they think it's almost like an ego boost when they can like reject a high status guy like that or an athlete like that. They get an ego boost out of rejecting them because they get so many guys trying to fuck them. So they could say stuff like this. They can go into a street interview and lie on what they actually prefer. They don't really want that guy. If they do want the guy, I'll tell you why. It's to control him. It's to do what they want. It's to make more money than him. It's to have more leverage in a relationship. That's all they want. But deep down, in terms of like what they actually want, they want resources. They want money. They wouldn't dare miss the chance, especially with someone who's known to build their status, to get out there. They wouldn't dare miss that chance, especially if they're an average girl and they've never had any sort of attention. They don't have like maybe, you know how these girls today have a social media platform. They have 100K, 300K just from sexualizing their body. And they'll assume that that's impressive, but it's not. It's just horny men on the internet, right? These kind of girls, they have the luxury of doing the things they want to do because they're monetizing their looks. So they can say stupid shit like, no, I want a guy that makes less than me. No, you don't. It's just that they have been brainwashed to think that because they have all this attention, they can monetize their looks. Obviously, we live in a world, right? We've gotten so far, we've civilized the world so much that they don't need us. So they can say stupid stuff like that. You know what's crazy, man? They don't even know the average salary of a man. This girl doesn't even know the average salary. A lot of girls think like this too. They think 100K is like normal for men or something like that. Like 150K is normal. You know why? Most of the guys that they go after are in that bracket. Most of the guys that they go after are making money. So they think, oh no, that's easy. Just because these guys all want to hit on them, all want to fuck them. Their pool of guys, their perception of guys is skewed. They're thinking that that pool of guys that tries to talk to them all the time, that's always in their DMs, always messaging them, always trying to get a date with them, they think that that pool of guys is reality. It's not reality. A lot of them can't really understand that the guys that are up top, they're fucking most of the girls. A lot of these guys got high body counts. I'll tell you that hands on. But that's not because a lot of these guys choose to be. A lot of these guys don't even want to do this shit. But the way the dating market is now, everything is so skewed, messed up. It's like, it's hard to see why they wouldn't have one. It's hard to see why guys who are capable of doing this stuff wouldn't. Imagine me, right? I make good money. I live in a major city. I make more than the average man. I'm not cocky about it though. I'm humble, right? I have sources of income that are off YouTube. Obviously, YouTube isn't consistent for me right now. So, you know, if it were to get to that point, that would be great. But right now, even before YouTube, obviously I had my own ways of making my income. But I'm not going to sit here and not see the other side of the world and act like since I make a certain amount of money, everybody else does. You see how selfish that is? But a lot of times women will do that shit. They'll be like, no, if I did it, it's all that matters. They can't see like the general point of view. Even another example, when I first got on making my stay single videos, right? It doesn't mean I'm always single. Honestly, to be honest with you guys, if you're living in a major city, man, you're seeing girls left and right, you know, everywhere you turn. And it's hard, man. It's hard because, you know, we're visual. So, you know, we see something, we're like, wow, I can see the perception of other men and what they're going through. And then I can use my experiences to say, oh, I see why men act like this. Oh, I see why men go through this shit. Oh, I see why these stats are like this. But this is the thing about women. They don't really understand like reality like that. They see a certain point of view. This is like most women. This is most women. This is a general statement. But you'll see this with statistics, the way they choose their partners. Like these girls are probably really would marry an average man. And that relationship would not last. They think the average man is not going to cheat. He's still going to cheat. He's going to lie to you and be like, no, that's my only one, because he probably can't get anything else. And when they can't get anything else, they think that they're being monogamous. But in reality, if they could, they would. If they could cheat, they would cheat. And it's not even like, the thing about cheating between men and women is different. But that's a whole nother topic. We'll get into that another time. But yeah, man, this is why like when you listen to a woman talk to you, you got to really take in like, does she have a perception of reality? She turns 18, she looked good, getting hit on by all these guys. Everybody's trying to act agreeable with her just so they could smash. So a lot of the things that she's saying doesn't even have to necessarily be true. So is she really the person that I want to take advice from? This is why you got to watch what they do, not what they say. Because what they say, they'll tell you a made up fantasy, or they'll tell you something that on paper it seems good, on paper it seems right, but it never works. That's the thing. On paper, all these things seem good. All equality, this and that. It's not realistic. It's not real. This is why they'll tell you one thing. Oh, I want the nice guy. I want the simp. No, you don't. They'll tell you this while experiencing the guy that doesn't treat them well and giving him that attention. All because he's super attractive or because he's paying to play. You think these girls are going to turn down if a celebrity is paying them monthly? They're not going to turn that down. The only way they're turning that down, like I said, monetizing their own looks. But they don't really want to work. They don't really want to work too hard. They don't want to do the things that men do. It's not in their nature to. They don't need to. And that's a good thing. And we made this like a bad thing. But they don't need to do that stuff. She's not going to turn down that NBA player. She's not going to turn down being a side chick with that NBA player, for that NBA player. She's not going to do it. I'm telling you. They'll tell you though, right? A lot of guys will believe it. And they'll be like, no, she will. She's a good woman. But you don't watch what they do. You listen to what they say. And that's where you fuck up. But that's just a message, man. They're a woman, man, and they talk to you, man. You got to think about their reality versus yours. We live two different lives. Men and women are different. We live different lives, different realities. So you got to watch what these women are doing, how they're behaving, what they put out to the world, and you'll learn a lot about them. That's the only thing for today, man. That's the only thing I got for this video, man. If you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, Jimmy, and I'm out. Peace.